Chapter 4, Ino Yamanaka Suzuki's POV. Oh Suzuki, you're so hot. A pretty redhead sitting next to me on Naruto's couch said. I was probably the perfect picture of a playboy at that moment, sitting on an expensive leather sofa with girls in miniskirts and short dresses and high heels all around me, begging for my attention. I wanted to take a break with my martini but was bombarded with these ladies. I didn't mind it at all until one girl worked up the courage to unbutton the top buttons of my shirt and run her fingers along my chest. At that point I looked at her and politely pushed her hand away, seeing as she was piss-drunk. I looked past my semi-unwanted company to the party in front of me, spotting Naruto dancing with the blonde girl who had just sung the Lady Gaga song. From the way they were dancing I could tell they were into each other. I didn't blame them, the girl was pretty stunning and Naruto had a certain charm about him. I looked at the girl some more, determining that she was totally not my type. I saw a flash of pink and looked at Sakura walking towards me with a silly smile plastered to her face. We're having so much fun, Suzuki. Come join us. She took my hand and led me out to the floor, grabbing the martini I was working on and finishing it off for me, then placing it on the empty tray of a passing waitress. The girls who I had been sitting with were probably pissed. They were trying to get me to dance with them for hours, and here comes a girl with pink hair who so easily got me to go with her. And she drank some of my martini. I spent the rest of the party on the dance floor with Sakura and some other socialites from Upper Konoha. I see you met someone. I asked the dobe. The party was over and the guests had gone home. Inside Naruto's party planning group and the DJ were cleaning up and packing up. We were sitting in Naruto's jacuzzi, relaxing our muscles after a hard night of dancing. Yeah, Naruto sighed, head hanging over the edge of the small pool. She's amazing. You did invite her stay after the party, didn't you? Naruto snapped his head up with an offended look on his face. Of course I did. I'd be a dumbass if I didn't. Her and Sakura are inside changing right now. I smirked. Do you know her name yet? Of course I would know that. It's Ino. Naruto dipped his head under the hot water. When he resurfaced I asked. Any last name? Not yet, he mumbled. Besides, the music was too loud to ask. I shook my head as the slide door to the balcony opened and the two girls stepped out into the night air. Sakura had on a light green bikini that matched her eyes, with silver sequins. The girl called Ino wore a dark purple bikini. Both girls had their long hair pulled back into messy buns at the top of their heads. Stepping into the water, Ino said, "Thanks for the awesome party, Naruto, I had so much fun." "I'm sure you did," Sakura laughed as she stepped into. After getting used to the temperature, she continued, "So where are you from?" "Oh, I just moved to this area, actually. My family owns an estate in West Konoha Hills," Ino said. Sakura nodded with a not too shabby face. Ino held her hand out to me. "I'm Ino Yamanaka, by the way." I raised my eyebrow as I shook her hand. Naruto made a small choking noise and Sakura laughed. "Ino Yamanaka?" I asked. "That's right." Sakura trilled. "She's Inoichi Yamanaka's daughter. That's the Inoichi Yamanaka, who owns Yamanaka Records. Isn't that sick?" "Wait, Sakura, you already knew Ino?" Naruto asked. For some reason he looked a little uncomfortable. As Ino settled back into her spot after shaking my hand, Ino answered for the pinkette. "Yep. Sakura and I go way back. Our parents collaborated on a project 6 years ago. It was a movie on the life of a starlet who worked her way up the music industry. I've known Sakura since then." I looked over to Sakura with my eyebrow up, and she met my look with a nod and smile, indicating that Ino's story was true. "Wow," I said. "Hey Sakura, you never mentioned knowing Ino before. Why didn't you introduce me to this hottie earlier?" Naruto shouted accusingly. I looked over to Ino to see her reaction to Naruto's outburst. She was smiling, and didn't seem to be blushing. That was a sign of confidence, which I could tell Ino had plenty of. She was perfect for Naruto. Sakura laughed and said, "Didn't you hear? She just moved to Konoha. It's not like I could introduce you guys if she lived miles away." Naruto grumbled in response and sat back down. "Anyway," Sakura continued, "Ino's practically the daughter of the music industry, what with her parents virtually heading the whole thing." "Nice. So that's why you sang so well up on stage. I was wondering if you were something different," I commented. "Hey, don't call her different, team." Naruto held his fist up to my face. "I meant it in a good way, dope," I said back, waving his hand away. The girls giggled. You're such a nut, Naruto. Sakura chimed. I like nuts. Ino raised her eyebrow suggestively at Naruto. Then she realized the triple meaning of her words. Sakura and Ino burst out into outright laughter. I smirked, and Naruto chuckled. Holy shit, Ino, you're such a dirty pig. Sakura slapped the water, tears coming out of her eyes. I didn't mean it that way. Ino screamed, shaking her head, still laughing. She sighed as she calmed down and rested her head against Naruto's shoulder. No, but seriously, I like you. She looked up into Naruto's face with a somewhat dreamy look. Sakura stood up, water dripping down her stomach. Okay, Sasuke, I think it's time for us to get out and leave these two to themselves. She turned and smiled at me before climbing out. Ino was now nuzzling Naruto's neck and I followed Sakura out, handing her a towel while grabbing my own. Later, Dobe, Ino. I followed Sakura back into the condo. After closing the door, I saw Sakura run up the stairs that led to Naruto's bedroom. Come on, Sasuke. Shaking my head, I followed Sakura up the stairs. Spying on them isn't very ladylike, Sakura, I said as she bounded to the window and took a peek down to the balcony. Oh whatever Sasuke, you know you're curious. It's been a while since he's invited someone to stay with us after a party. I think he really likes Ino. She opened the drapes a little further. Ew, how cute. That got me. I quickly walked over to the window next to Sakura and took a look. Ino and Naruto were still in the jacuzzi, and they were kissing. Humph, I smirked to myself, they seem to be getting along well. As if on cue, Naruto reached his hand up behind Ino and raised his middle finger in our direction. Then he motioned for us to close the drapes. I took the curtain from Sakura's hand, closing it. Ah, Sasuke? Come on, I gotta see this. Sakura whimpered. No, you don't. Why don't you change out of that and leave them be? You were the one who insisted we let them have the jacuzzi all to themselves. After all, I smiled down at my pink-haired friend. I'm going to shower. Oh fine, she conceded. I walked into Naruto's bathroom and shut the door, starting the shower. After washing the chlorine off of me, I wrapped a towel around my waist and walked out of the bathroom. Sure enough, there Sakura was, peeking out the window again. At least she had listened to me and changed. She was wearing one of Naruto's old t-shirts, the one he got at an Eminem concert, that is. Sneaking up behind her, I wrapped my arms around Sakura's waist and lifted her up off the ground and away from the window. She made a small squeaking noise then started kicking and laughing. Let me down, Sasuke. Come on dude. No, stop spying on the dope. I threw her over my shoulder and started walking down the stairs. She stopped kicking and kept on laughing. I walked down the stairs and into the kitchen. Putting Sakura down on a bar stool, I walked over to the fridge and opened it up, taking a look while fixing my towel. Does he have any peanut butter? Sakura asked behind me. I checked the shelves and grabbed the jar of peanut butter. Grabbing a spoon and a bowl, I scooped some of the creamy brown snack into the bowl and slid it across the counter to Sakura. Then I returned to the fridge and grabbed a Coke for myself. Resting my elbows on the counter across from Sakura, I popped open the can and took a swig. Hey, do you think she began? Ah. Naruto and Ino entered the condo. How relaxing. I love jacuzzis, don't you? You two seem to enjoy them much more than I ever have. Sakura laughed, placing a scoop of peanut butter in her mouth. Hey, were you spying on us? Ino asked, eyebrows up. Naruto handed her a towel and she wrapped it around herself. Sakura, mouth too full of peanut butter to speak clearly, looked up at me with a smirk. I raised both my hands up. Hey, I was showering. No way I could have peeked. Ino walked over to the kitchen, Naruto following. I wouldn't have thought you were spying, Sasuke. But Sakura here is another story. Ino trailed off, standing next to Sakura. Sakura looked up at Ino's expression and hugged the other girl around the waist. You know you love me, Ino pig. Sakura said through her mouth full of peanut butter. Oh, get off me. Ino laughed, contradicting her words by hugging Sakura back. I'm going to shower. Where's your bathroom? She turned back to Naruto. Oh, it's upstairs. Let me show you. Naruto led Ino up the stairs. Sakura turned back to me, eyes wide. Wait, Naruto has like 5 guest bathrooms downstairs. Then she and I broke into laughter. Chapter 5, Interest Sakura's POV. I opened my eyes and became aware of my surroundings. I was lying in my bed, light streaming through my glass wall. I'd forgotten to close the blinds upon coming home the night before, and fell asleep to the view of the city through my window wall. My room was perfectly neat except for the bundle of clothes I wore to Naruto's the night before. I glanced down under the covers and found myself still wearing my bikini with Naruto's M&M shirt over it. I yawned. My mouth felt all sticky from the peanut butter I devoured for dinner. I turned to my side and checked the clock on my nightstand. 1:28 p.m. I had gotten in a good 8 hours of sleep. I crawled out of my bed and jumped into my slippers, making my way to the bathroom. I brushed my teeth, took a shower, and blow-dried my hair. Walking over to my closet, I put on jeans, a nice tank top and jacket. I looked at myself in the mirror and decided to put on a little mascara and lip gloss. I'd put on more makeup later, if I felt like it by then. I sat down in my beanbag and flipped on the TV while checking my phone. 21 new messages. Scrolling through them, I realized just how many guys I had hung out with at the party. Yo Sakura, it's Sora from Naruto's party last night. Had a great time. How about dinner tomorrow night? I smiled and shook my head as I deleted the random guy messages. When I was done with that, I leaned back against the beanbag, watching the latest episode of Jersey Shore. I laughed at how silly they all were. Sure, they knew how to party, but they didn't have the level of class that the parties I attended had. I decided to call Ino. Hello. A groggy voice answered after several rings. Ino? It's Sakura. Are you okay? You don't sound good. I asked worriedly. Sakura. I'm alright. I just have a headache, that's all. It's probably a hangover. Hurts like a mother dash. Ino mumbled through the phone, her sentence dropping towards the end. I switched the phone to my other ear as I grabbed my keys and put on my boots. Hey, I know just how to cure that. I'm coming over now, get ready. I hung up. The elevator ride down Harano Tower was relaxing, since I got the whole gigantic thing to myself. I convinced my parents to have them play good music in the elevators and I did a little dance to Kesha while the contraption raced towards the ground 50 stories. The elevator dinged and I stepped into the building's lobby. Hello, Miss Sakura. Will you be needing a chauffeur today? The doorman asked me as I walked out the door. I flashed him a kind smile. No thank you, I'll be driving myself today. The ride to Ino's was nice. The highway led me through wheat fields and there wasn't a cloud in the sky, so I lowered the roof of my white BMW convertible. I put my shades on, turned the music up and sang along. Ino's estate was easy to find. I drove up the roundabout driveway and parked in front of their home. My boots clicked as I walked up their porch steps and rang the doorbell. Ino's father, Inoichi, answered the door. Hello, I'm Sakura, is Ino home? Of course I knew Ino was home, but I had to ask as a matter of politeness. Hello, nice to meet you, I'm Ino's father. He shook my hand. Ino is upstairs in her room. Would you like to come in? Her room is the first door on the left after going up the stairs. He motioned for me to come inside. Thank you very much. I walked past the famous music producer and made my way up the grand staircase. Ino's door was closed, so I knocked then went in. Inu. Was her reply. I walked around the corner and saw a figure huddled under the covers of a large bed. I walked over to Ino to check her condition. Yep. You've got a hangover. Come on, Ino. I can fix this. You just have to come with me. Let's get you dressed and presentable to the public. Come on Han. I pulled her upright and she slowly made her way out of her bed. I led her to her bathroom to fix herself up then walked into her closet. I grabbed a nice denim skirt and sweater, handing them to her after she washed up. After she put them on I tamed her bed head and put her hair back in a slick ponytail. Sorry for you to see me like this. I'm such a mess, Ino grumbled. Don't even worry about it. I've seen hangovers worse than this, Han. The sooner we can get you out of here the sooner we can make you all better again. I stepped back and looked at Ino. She looked fresh and clean, and no sign of the hangover she was suffering showed. It was all internal damage now. I took her arm and led her downstairs and into my car. Hood up or hood down? I asked her. Definitely hood down. The sun's too much. Ino placed her head in her hands, rubbing her eyes. And turn the music down, please. I pushed the knob to turn the music off completely. Okay, so I'm taking you to this little cafe that I go to almost every day. They'll have just the thing to cure your little hangover. I told her as we sped down the highway. She didn't respond. The poor girl? It reminded me of a time when Sasuke was drunk. Actually, that was the time when he, Naruto, and I made the no overdrinking pact. Sasuke had drank himself out until all his brain cells ceased to function. He was so drunk that he almost went all the way with some girl we didn't know at a party, and Naruto had to pull him off of her. Naruto had to keep him at his house that night. The next morning Sasuke was a wreck. He had absolutely no memory of the night before and was vomiting left and right. "We're here," I said softly to the girl. In my passenger seat after I parked my car along the strip. Ino looked out the window. Café, Leche, Mas. She read the name of the place we had pulled up to. Yep. It's my favorite place in the world. Well, one of them anyways. Come on, let's get you in. I had to take Ino's arm again as I led her to a table in the corner. I sat her down then got into the order line. I came back to the table with 2 coffees, a scone, and a cookie. Taking a mug and the scone, I handed her the other mug and the cookie. She sniffed it and asked, "What's in this thing? It doesn't smell like chocolate chip." I winked at her. "It's called a to hell with you hangover cookie. I helped this place develop the formula. It's on their secret menu. Take a bite, it really works." Ino hesitantly brought the cookie to her lips. I urged her on and she took a bite. "MPH, this is actually kind of good." I smiled and took a sip of my coffee. I did the same thing for Sasuke the morning after that one hangover. At first he was reluctant to eat it, but after I got him to chew and swallow he was instantly cured. "Just be sure to eat it all, or it won't work." Sure enough, she did. And changed into a totally different person. Holy crap, Sakura, thanks so much for that. You're an angel. You probably saved me from the worst hangover of my life. Damn, that was an amazing cookie, in more ways than one. Ino finished her coffee. Now there's the Ino I know. I laughed and ate my scone. "So how did you like the party last night?" "Oh, my God. It was the best party I have ever gone to. You guys in Konoha really know how to party it up." "Yeah, we know," I laughed. "So what's this with you and Naruto? Are you guys serious?" Ino blushed a little. "I hope so. He's such an amazing guy, you know? And funny, but I don't know if he likes me back. Like, seriously." I gave her a look. "Are you kidding? Of course he likes you. He only keeps the girls he's absolutely serious about around after the party's over, with the exclusion of me, of course. Trust me, I've known the guy forever and he's definitely into you." "You really think so?" She gave me a look of disbelief. "Honey, I know so. He totally likes you." I pointed a finger at her. "You know what? How about you have dinner with the 3 of us tonight? You, me, Naruto, and Sasuke." "Oh, I don't know," Ino began. "Then I'll decide for you." I grinned and dialed Sasuke's number immediately. "Hey Sasuke, we still on for Setsuna's tonight?" "Yeah, sure. Let's do 8:30, Sasuke said on the line. "Alright, cool. 8:30 then. I'll call Naruto." "Oh, he's actually at my place right now, but he said something about having plans." I turned my head away from Ino's eyes and semi-whispered, "Sasuke, Ino's coming with us." There was some silence on the line, then Sasuke's voice, "I'll clear his plans for him." I could practically hear the wink and smile in his voice. "Perfect," I laughed. "I'll drop by your place with Ino to pick you guys up later." Sasuke and I said our goodbyes and I hung up then put my phone back into my bag. "Well, plans are set," I said to Ino, who looked rather uncomfortable. "Oh, Ino, trust me, you're going to thank me later." "Want to go for Manipitas to pass the time? It's all on me."